Hi guys, welcome to POMCLOSET. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet off-shoulder top. What do we need for these? I'm going to mix all these colors. So these are the cotton yarn 100% from Germany, the Gründl brand. It's 4-ply cotton. And this is the orange color. So we're going to need the orange, light blue, blue and the beige color, and we'll mix all these up. One ball weight 50 grams, 115 meters. The needle numbers number 3 and 4 in between, and we are going to use probably around 100 grams of these. What else do we need? The yarn, the crochet hook 4mm, the yarn needles, a pair of cutter, the tape measure, some stitch markers, and also we're going to use this a little bit of this, the rubber band for the arm cuffs. To start with, leave the end for 6-7 centimeters for weaving later, and then do the slip knot. And you chain up to 95 chains. After 95 chains, I made it up with 21 inches. So next we need to chain up to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4. After that you get back to the 5th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's my 5th one, and do double crochets. So we are doing the mesh stitches, then chain 1, skip 1, go to the next one with double crochets, and then repeat. 1 chain, skip 1, double crochets. So you keep repeating this until you reach the last stitch. And the last stitch, I haven't pulled the yarn through yet because I need to change another color. So this row, the mesh row, is finished, and I will change to the orange color. Actually, I need to go for the blue first. So I will swapping all the colors. You can do one color if you want to, but I need to do something with colors. So how you joining the color, getting the color, just position the yarn like this as shown, and then you just get the new color put through, and change 3, turn the work. So now we need to just go for the double crochets all the way down in every single stitches. And for the yarn, excess yarn here, I need to cut it off. We can weave all ends later. So keep going in every single stitches with the double crochets. And I will do the blue, this color here, for 3 rows. After you get to the last stitch, you just change 3, turn the work, and repeat this row. So I will meet you after I'm done with 3 of these colors, 3 rows of the blue. Here is the end of the 3rd row of this blue color, and I need to reconnect the new yarn, so I'm gonna be using the beige again. So basically how to connect it, just the same. So you have 3 loops, and then now you have 2 loops, and the new yarn I always leave it for 6-7 centimeters for sewing, and then just pull the new yarn through. So this time we're gonna repeat the mesh row by changing 4, skip 1 stitch, and then you do the double crochet, so it will be the same line as the first row. Do the double crochets, 1 chain, skip 1, go to the next one, double crochet, 1 chain, skip 1, double crochet. So repeat this until you reach the end of the row, and then I need to change the new color to the orange. So to the orange after the beige, and then I'm gonna repeat the same process, connecting the yarn, and then change 3, turn the work, and do just the double crochet rows for 3 rows. After that you change to the beige, do this mesh for 1 row, and then change to the new color, which is the light blue. At the end of the light blue colors. So here you can see you have the beige from the start, and then blue 3 rows of the double crochets, and then the mesh rows in beige, the double crochet rows in orange, 3 of each rows, and then 1 mesh rows in beige, and 3 more rows in or double crochet rows in light blue. Now we need to change back to the beige color, so connecting the new yarn exactly the same as the other new colors where you connected the yarn. So do the same, and now we need to do the mesh rows by changing 4, skip 1 stitch, go to the next one with double crochet, chain 1. So basically we're just gonna do the mesh rows, but this time we're gonna do extra. I will go for maybe 5 rows of these mesh rows. So at the end you just turn the work, chain 4, and then repeat the double crochet on top of each mesh, chain 1. So I will meet you after you've done 5 rows of these mesh rows. 5 mesh rows done, so you will end up having something like this. And the next step is for the next row I will chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn the work, and then I will slip stitch on the 3rd double crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3. I will go on the top part here, and then slip stitch, and then chain 5. I'll skip 1 of the double crochets, I'll go to the next one, and then slip stitch. So you will end up having the loops like this. So keep on doing with the 5 chains, skip 1 double crochet mesh here, go to the second one and slip stitch. Keep doing this until you reach the last at the end of the row. You need to turn the work, and now I will go for 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go back to the first loop and then just slip stitch like this, and then go to the next loop doing the double crochets, 7 of them in the same loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and move on to the next loop. You just slip stitch, and then I will chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the next loop, slip stitch, and then I'll do 5 more chains. Next loop, slip stitch. So I have here the 7 double crochets, and then I have 2 more loops. And the next loop I'm going to repeat the 7 double crochets. 1, 2. After you've done the 7 double crochets, and then chain 5, slip stitch on the next loop, chain 5, slip stitch on the next loop, and then repeat the 7 double crochets. So I will meet you at the end, and before I'm reaching the last loop, so I don't have enough of the loops to do the two mesh loops here. So I'm gonna go to the next one. After 5 chains, just slip stitch, and then you chain 2, and then you do the double crochets on the very last stitch, so to even the rows. So I have now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans, and then turn the chains 5, and then you do the slip stitch on the first loop. Now we need to go to the 7 double crochets here. So on top of each double crochets you do the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So you will have in total of the 7 double crochets mesh. So I have now 3, 4, chain 1, 5, 6, and the last. And then you do the slip stitch on the next loop. Here's the first fan. I'm done with the first fan, and in between the 2 loops here I'm just going to chain 5, 3, 4, 5, just slip stitch, and we start doing the double crochets, chain 1, next stitch, double crochet, chain 1, next stitch. So keep repeating the same process as what I've just done with the other fans until you reach the last row, the last stitch of the row. And on the last fan, after you've done 7 double crochets, and here is the end of the row, so I'm just gonna go for slip stitch to complete this row. And the next row, chain 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna chain 3, and then the first double crochets you need to do another double crochets, and then chain 2, chain 2, move on to the next stitch, the next double crochets, and then chain 2. So on this row we did chain 1 in between, so this time we're going to do chain 2 in between. So chain 2, and you will have 7 double crochets still. Chain 2, the next one, chain 2, next one. So you will have the beginning, I don't count, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the fan is expanding. And next one to the mesh, to the loops, we're just gonna slip stitch and then just repeat the fan section. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2 until you just repeat this part here until you reach the last fan at the end here. At the end, after you've done 7 of these mesh stitches, you just need to do the slip stitch to complete this row. Now we need to turn the work. and I need to make sure which side is gonna be the right side. So I need this part here to be the right side, and what I'm gonna do is I need to work on the same side, and I do the side of the top now. At the last stitch, move on to the next gap, the next double crochet rows here, do 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and the next one, so I will do 2 single crochet in each of these rows until you reach the last mesh rows here. And on the last mesh rows here you have also 2 double crochets, so you need to turn the work and chain up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and skip one, the one next to the first one, 1, 2, 3, go to the fourth one, and then you do the single crochets. So we are doing the loops for the back piece, that you can do the crisscross straps in between these loops here, and then do the single crochets. You need 7 of them, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will skip 3, I'll go to the fourth one and do single crochet, 7 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 5 chains. Do 1 more loops by skip 3, go to the fourth one, do 7 single crochets. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I need to chain 5. I have the stitch marker here so I know where I started from the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just skip. I have now 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left here. I'm just gonna move over to the first stitch from where we started and do single crochets. On the way back, chain 1, and then do 5 single crochet in each of these loops. You have 3, 4, 5, and then the rest with 7 single crochets straight. And when you reach the next loop, do 5 single crochets on this section, 7 single crochet, and then 5 single crochet in this loop, and repeat until you reach the last stitch. And here is the last stitch. So I'm just gonna do the slip stitch at the where we started. So the next one, we need to do the edge of this. This is the top part. Here's where we started from the beginning, and this is the bottom of the top. So what we need to do, I need to show you here. We have the 4 loops on the side of the top. For the bottom of, for the top of this part, we need to chain 3, do double crochets, and then you will skip 1, 2, and then go to the third one, and then do the slip stitch like this, chain 3, go back to the same stitch, do double crochets, so they're all in the same stitch, and then skip 1, 2, go to the third one, slip stitch, and then just repeat 3 chains, double crochets in the same stitch, skip one to go to the third. So repeat these until you reach the last stitch on the other side of the top, and then you will repeat the rows on the side exactly the same by doing the 2 single crochets in each of this row. On the way back, you chain 5 and then go to the 4th stitch and do 7, chain 5, and leave the 3 stitches, go to 4th, exactly the same as on this side. And then I will meet you at the end after you've done the side part here. So far you will have something like this. I'm now at the end of the last stitch here. So we need to continue this part. I need to slip stitch on this one, and then we are back to the bottom part of the top. So I will slip stitch one more time on this first mesh here, and then chain 3, and then I will slip stitch into the same loop, so you will have a little peak of this one here, and move on to the next gap, the next mesh, slip stitch, chain 3, go back to the same mesh stitch, and then slip stitch, move on to the next one, slip stitch, chain 3, do another slip stitch, move on to the next one. So keep doing this until you complete this fan, this part here. I will show you the first set, and here's the last loop, last mesh gap here. So you will have something like this on the first fan, and move on to the next one. So you have this in between. I will slip stitch on this first one. Actually, it's on the stitch, the last stitch here, the last double crochet here, and then the first double crochet on the other fan. Just do slip stitch, so you will slip one at the last from the fan, and slip another one from the next fan. I hope I explained clearly. So, and then repeat the same as the other fan. So keep doing this until you reach the last set of this pattern, and then we cut off the yarn. I will sew or weave in all the excess ends that we have left here. Just use the yarn needles and weave them all in. I will see you then after you get through this part. Alright guys, so I'm done with the body part of this top. So I need to turn this on to the back side. It's supposed to be like this. And I need the string with the tassels for the back of this top. So what I need is the card like this. If you have the cardboard, you just use it. Basically, just gonna I'll grab 2 strands of yarn and then wrap it around a few times until I get the thickness of these tassels. Slide it out and use the crochet hook, insert it into the middle of this part here, and wrap it around the needles a few times and pull it tight, and try to pull the 2 strands of yarn here through this little loop here. It's quite difficult, but it can get through. And then You just need to change, just do the chain. It's quite difficult to get through here. So I will then change up to the length of 170 centimeters. And on this part here, we just need to trim it. So one tassel's done. After that, I will cut off the yarn at the end, so you will have 2 strands of the ends like this. And grab the cardboard once again, wrap it well. The thickness is depends on how much you want it, how thick you want it. Slide it out from the card. And then I will insert the 2 strands of yarn here. I will insert one through and tie it tight. I'll do it twice. And cut off a little bit of the yarn so we can tie it on this top part of the tassels here. Wrap this row a few times. Like this. So the rest you need to trim it and make them even. So I have the two sides of the tassels. We need to insert this on the back of the top. And firstly, I need to measure the top. The width we have already 21 inches, and the length of this top, I would say it's around 8 inches. I need to insert the string through the back. I prefer to have the tassels on the top part, so I'm gonna insert the tassels upwards. The first one through the first loop, second one on the other side. Try to equal them. Do the zigzag, the crisscross back. Second one on the other side. We have the total of the four loops on the back here. Try to adjust it. The crochet pieces are stretchy, so when you wear it, it will go with the body. So at the end, the last loop here on the back, you just need to so you will have something similar to this one. I will repeat this section, but I'm not gonna repeat all these mesh rows. I will probably go between the first row until maybe do one mesh rows, and then repeat this section here. So how to start? Just get the yarn and then do a slip knot. You chain up to 50. So just make sure that your arm can get in and it's not too tight. So I will chain up to 50. And here's 50 chains. And the length is 10 inches. If you need longer, you need to do more chains. But for me, this top is size small, and this one here fits into my arm. So now I need to reconnect. You just go to the first stitch, make sure it's a straight chain here. so this one straight, and then you will go to the first change and just do the slip stitch on this one. Make sure it doesn't twist, and then you just do the mesh rows by changing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip one stitch, and then I'll go to the next one. So we are repeating the mesh rows exactly the same as the body piece. So I will keep continue doing this. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until I reach the last. And here is the end of the row. I will chain 1, and then we skip 1, and then we go to the third chain from the beginning. So we have one chain in between here. So before you pull the yarn through, I need to change to the blue, so that color this will be the same color as the body part. So change to blue. By grabbing the blue behind the crochet hook, and then you just pull it through like this, and chain up to 3. And now we need to do the double crochet in every single stitches, so exactly the same as the body part. I will keep continue doing the double crochets until I reach the end of the row, and then repeat 2 more rows. So that would be 3 rows of this blue, and then you just need to change back to the beige color, and then change to the blue, then change to the beige, do the mesh rows, and then the blue. And then I will do only 1 row of these mesh rows in beige, and I will meet you at the end after you've done all this here. So far I have something like this. At the end of the mesh rows in beige, you need to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip. I won't go over to the second mesh, the second double crochet on here, and then just slip stitch. So you will leave only 1 double crochet in the middle, and then chain 5, and then skip 1, move on to the next one. And on this part here, I need to skip I will go to the middle of the, what you call this here, I skip 1, this one is 2, because I need all together in the total of 12 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is the last loop, because the pattern we need to equal the stitches. So I'm making the 3 of these patterns around the arms part. So I need 4 loops to make one of these patterns. So I'm making 3, that means I need 12 of these loops. So at the last this part here, I need to equal the stitches. And after that, you need to turn the work to the wrong side. This is the right side. And then I will do the slip stitch once, twice, and the third chain, so to be in the middle. And then you turn the work back to the right side, and then we chain double crochets, 7 of them, to start the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the last one 7. So that would be one fan. The next loop, just slip stitch and then chain 5, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next loop, slip stitch. So I need 2 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch again. So I have the fan and then 2 loops. The next one, the fan with 7 double crochets in this loop, and then chain 5 and then do 2 more loops, and then keep going until you reach the last one, which we have 2 loops. And here's the last loop. Go to the first stitch where we started and then just slip stitch. So for the second row, let me first stitch somewhere here. So for the the next row, you turn back the work to the wrong side and then you slip stitch once, twice, 3 of them, and then you turn back to the right side. After that, you go to the first stitch with double crochets, chain 1, move on to the next stitch, double crochets, chain 1. So we making this fan bigger by doing double crochet, chain 1, next stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and you will have 7 of them. So I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the last one. Then you do the slip stitch on the next loop, chain 5, next loop, slip stitch, and then begin this part here, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then you slip stitch on this one, do 5 chains, slip stitch on this one, and starting the next fan. Keep doing this until you reach, and I have 5 chains, and I need to do the slip stitch on the last stitch where we begin, and then you turn the work to start the new row. Slip stitch once, twice, 3 times, turn back the work, and then do double crochet on the first stitch. So this time we will change 2, and then double crochets, change 2, double crochets. So we are increasing the stitches here, expanding the size of this fan. Change 2, double crochets, change 2, double crochets, and now you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the next loop, just slip stitch and then start doing the double crochets, change 2, double crochet in the next stitch. So just keep repeating until you. Here's the last stitch where we're starting to do this row, and I'm just gonna slip stitch. And the next one here, we need to start from the first gap of this mesh, and then change 3, the slip stitch in the same mesh gap, and move on to the next one. Do slip stitch first, and then change 3, slip stitch again, and here's the last one of this fan. So you'll see you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first fan, and on the last stitch you just need to cut off the yarn and sew all the ends in later. And this part is the arm part, so it's ready. You need to sew all the ends in, the excess ends where we cut them off. Now we need to move on to this top part here, which is this part. I still have the yarn from the beginning. I always left it on for sewing, but we need to use it, so I'm gonna connect the yarn. So I have the yarn connected, and you also need we call it rubber band. The length is 7 inches. This will go over to the top part of these arms here. 7 inches for me is fine because I have this small arm. And then we need to sew these two parts here together. So I need to sew this in, and then we can move on to the other part by sewing in. Just lap these two ends over. I'll just sew the side, both sides. Just make sure it's tight enough and it doesn't get loose when you wear this arm here. And I cut this off. I will have little loop like this. So now we need to put this on this section. So here's the top of this arm or cuff. I don't know what you call it. I think it's arm. So how can you connect it? I will insert a crochet hook like this. Try to get the yarn to go over. So that should be okay. And then do the single crochet in each of these stitches, and make sure you get the rubber band here on top of it. So the next stitch, I'll go underneath the yarn and go underneath the rubber band and do single crochets. So I will keep doing this until I reach the end of the stitches on the other side. And make sure when you do this, and try to pull the rubber band along this part here, because the rubber band is smaller than the actual size of this arm, so you need to help it. So I will meet you at the end of the last stitch, and on the last stitch you just need to slip stitch. So here you have the rubber band for the arms, for the cuffs. The cuff of this arm, I don't know what you call it, but it's more like the arm section. So after that you need to chain up to 30. After you've done 30 chains, then I will cut it. So leave the ends for sewing later. Now what we need to do, I need to measure this part, the length of this. I call this arm. Yeah, I call this arm. So the length is around 8 inches. The width is around 5 inches. So this top part of this arm, the off-shoulder arms here, it's shrink a little bit because of the rubber band. So now we need to grab the body part. So I have it here. I have it here and also have the stitch markers on the middle part of this top, also on the side. This is size small top, so you will have the measurement from here to here. It's around half of 34 bust size, so it's 17. From here to here, 17 inches. How to get it? You just fold this part, you just fold the top into half and you get this one. And then you measure from this part to this part, it's 8.5. From here to here is also 8.5 inches. And you will get the size of this top. Now, after we've done these arms here, and also the change, and I have left the end, I need to use the yarn needle. And we need to sew this in on the part where we put the stitch markers on, which is on this side here. Take this out, and I will just go around a few times. Go twice, and then weave in. It ends in somewhere. And one side of this off shoulder, and the arms are connected. I will do one more side, one more piece of this to attach to the other side of this top, and also weave in all the ends which got hidden inside, and then I will get back to you. Alright guys, so the top is completed. You have both sides of this sleeve or the arm cuff, so you can wear this. This is an off-shoulder top, so you can wear it in summer on the beach or even on any event, festival. The color is a mix of the blue, light blue and orange. You can do it in plain color. This is entirely up to you. And on the back side, you have the crisscross side with the strings of tassels. So a very lovely and colorful top. So I really hope you like the tutorial, guys. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I still have many more designs to come. And thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. Any comments, any question, please leave in the comment section down below, and I will get back to you when I can. I will see you then in the next video.